The local fire department in the town of North San Juan began in 1862 and 124 years later was incorporated as a fire protection district. Today, they cover the largest territory with the smallest budget of all fire districts in Nevada County. They provide emergency services for 250 to 300 incidents per year. Like all fire departments, only a little over 10% of the emergency responses are related to fires. Over half the responses involve medical emergencies, 1/4 are vehicle accidents, and the remainder are miscellaneous emergencies. They are a volunteer fire department. The firefighters board, auxiliary members, and several district residents who help with the office tasks all donate their time. The chief is paid a small stipend for what is almost a full-time job. The district managers are paid part-time positions. Here to tell us more all about it is Chief Tom Browning. How are you, Tom? Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. So just first things first, I'm the deputy fire chief.
Okay.
Jason Flores is the fire chief, but I'm the deputy and I do most of the administrative work for the department.
Okay. And so what does that kind of entail?
So it's all the paperwork, the stuff in the office, going to meetings with county fire chiefs, the local training officers association.
Oh, that sounds like the real hard work there.
It's a lot of time consuming and energy taking procedures that I have to do.
So are there different requirements for being a volunteer or a paid firefighter?
So that question comes up often. Okay. And the way to best explain that is that there was a Senate bill passed I think it took effect in 2004, January 1st, 2004. It changed the health and safety code that described volunteers. It actually made them employees by the health and safety code. So what that law basically said is that every firefighter needs to be trained at the same level. Okay. So what that created was when paid fire departments hired firefighters at a certain level, a firefighter 1 with an EMT, for example, then that meant every volunteer had to have that same credential. That was the interpretation of that.
Oh, okay.
So that created a problem for a lot of fire departments. Every fire department in Nevada County was volunteer back in the day.
I was going to say that probably created some issues for everybody.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, some of the more interpretation of that law says that everyone has to have the basic training to a certain level, and then you can have advanced training beyond that, so that some departments are still able to keep volunteers with their paid staff. Mm-hmm. Right now, there's only 4 departments in Nevada County that have volunteers associated with them. The Higgins Fire Protection District down Lake of the Pines, they have paid staff as well as volunteers. The Paradale Chicago Park Fire Department has some paid staff and mostly volunteers. Ophir Hill has a few volunteers left, and then North San Juan is entirely volunteer or paid call. There's a little bit of stipend that comes with some of the work that they do. So the training to become a volunteer department pretty much countywide, I spoke with all the chiefs today to make sure we're all on the same page.
Good, yeah.
Is the state law requires that you have to have at least a first aid card and a CPR card. And that kind of gets you in the door to go to the department. Then you have to have some type of safety orientation. And depending on which department, you check with them. But like Higgins has an academy that they do on weekends to make sure you get through all the basic training before you actually go on calls.
Oh, okay.
Our department, Paradale and Ophir Hill, have what's called a task book. And you have to go through and get checked off on all of those safety things before you're allowed to go and do those. So there's a structural module, wildland module, hazardous materials, those type of trainings that you have to be proficient at before you can actually go out and fight fires.
Well, yeah, I would imagine you'd want to be proficient in some of those things, right?
Well, safety is our biggest concern.
Definitely.
Make sure that everybody meets those standards.
Oh, yeah. Besides funding, what are some of the obstacles faced with running a volunteer fire department?
So funding's obviously the biggest thing. You just said beside that. Let me just tell you an example that we're facing with. In 2020, our liability and vehicle insurance was $12,000 a year.
Ooh.
This year, it's $52,000 a year.
Oh
for
my gosh.
just that. And we have had no increase in revenue to try and cover that. So that's made it real difficult for all the departments in the area, paid and volunteer. Big issue with that.
Yeah,
the
and
insurance.
if you guys are having an issue operating, that means we as citizens are having an issue getting help, right?
So far, it has
So
not
far,
affected
no.
our level of service, but it certainly could have an impact.
Right.
Yeah, if you, I mean, we have to put tires on engines, we have to put fuel in them to make them run, and all those things cost money. The other part is just the number, for us, is the number of volunteers.
Right.
Our volunteers are asked to cover one 12-hour shift per week and one weekend per month. So that's just a basic requirement to be on call, 2 people every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's what they do. And we just need more people to do that.
So from what you need from the community is more help. We need more guys, yeah?
We need people that are willing to donate their time
Yes.
and their energy and dedicate that to the community where they live to help serve them. And that's what we're doing. We have a lot of, I don't say a lot, we have a number of volunteers that live outside our district that they go through an EMT class, emergency medical technician. Nowhere else can they use that training. So they come and stay at our station as residents in our building and provide shifts for that. So we have an opportunity for that, for those folks to do that.
Well, that does sound like an excellent opportunity. So if you have time, you have energy, come talk to Tom, North San Juan Fire Department.
Right. The basic requirements to get in, 18 years old, a high school diploma or GED, and then you take a physical to make sure you don't have any illnesses or injuries that would prevent you from doing the very laborious work that we do. Pass a DOJ background check, because we don't want felons running into people's house that we don't know about.
Fair enough.
And then a drug test to make sure you're drug-free and able
Ready
to
to
do
go.
your job.
Yeah.
Those are the basic requirements. Again, for North San Juan, our trainings are every Wednesday night. You can show up there and ask questions, and we'll gladly get you an application. But if you live in some of the other areas like Higgins or Ophir Hill or Paradale, Chicago Park area, contact those chiefs out there and see if you can help out there in what they're doing, because we're all looking for people.
Right on. And yeah, we'll be sure to do that. Thank you so much, Tom. And I thank you, the community thanks you, and we'll see you out there.
All right. Thank you.